Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me in the first discussion you're having on the Internet Society Rural SIG Special Interest Group. And I thank the organizers, Adarsh, Samya, Priya, and everyone who has put in their efforts to have this special interest group formed. While Adarsh has given a brief overview of what the Rural Development SIG is all about. I'll just briefly talk about Internet Society because, after all, the Rural SIG is part of the Internet Society. So, Internet Society is a not for profit, global cause driven organization. It was founded in 1992, and most of the founders were involved in the setting up of the Internet Engineering Task Force. Internet Society primarily believes that Internet is for everyone. It should be open, it should be transparent, and Internet Society is governed by a diverse board of trustees. Olga Cavalli, whom you heard a bit, a few minutes earlier, is also one of the board of trustees. While the board of trustees gives the overall direction, there is an staff team who kind of coordinates most of the activities which ISOC does. So ISOC has chapters across the world. There are about 110 plus active chapters globally. And Internet Society also has organizational members. They have affiliates and partners and these special interest groups. If we are looking at special interest groups, while the chapters are geographically located, for example, in India, we have six ISOC chapters: Delhi, where I belong, Calcutta, Mumbai, Trivandrum, Chennai, and Bangalore. And obviously, Hyderabad has put in a request. So whenever it comes up, that would be the seventh chapter. But all these SIGs are located, geographically located. However, when we talk about special interest groups, they can have members across the geographic regions because this is for a particular interest. So currently there are 10 such SIGs, including the Rural Development SIG. If you're looking at what ISOC does or what ISOC is currently doing, there is an agenda normally shared every year. The 2019 agenda is mostly focused on connecting the world, which is one of the main campaigns of Internet Society, especially the unconnected people in the rural areas. So for that, ISOC has a campaign which is called as the Community Network, and it also supports setting up of internet exchange points. Simultaneously, this year, the focus is collaborating more in connecting Africa. For that, they have collaborations with Facebook to build capacity. There's a continued support in terms of peering and interconnection, and also focusing on the Indigenous Community Summit. I'll speak more on the community networks because it is more to do with connecting the unconnected. But let me give an overview and then come back to it. If you're looking at the community networks, there was a project, or rather there is a project called the Wireless for Community Project, which is called W4C, which was started in India. It was started in one of the villages in India, and currently it has now spread to more than 146 locations across the country. There is a wireless community network project in Nepal as well as in Pakistan. So community network is focus where ISOC not only gives the information, knowledge on how to do things. There have been various papers which have been released, such as how to manage spectrum, how community networks need support, etc. So there is a website. If you go to internetsociety.org, go into community network, you'll get most of the information. The Community Network Initiative in India was initially partnered with Digital Empowerment Foundation, DEF, um, in a village in Chanderi. So apart from it, the second focus is to improve the technical security of the internet. For that, there is ISOC has a campaign for mutually agreed norms for routing security, which is called as MANRIS, which is a kind of agreement where internet service providers, IXPs, etc., agree to follow certain mutually accepted norms for routing the internet traffic. The third focus is to build trust over the internet. And there is a special focus on IoT devices, having new policies developed on it. And for that, ISOC is also partnering with various organizations like the Online Trust Alliance, and has come up with a trust framework and other such initiatives. And lastly, shaping the internet future through various internet governance issues. Speaking about those issues is something which is of prime focus. And all this is done in a collaborative approach wherein ISOC works with the chapters, with organizations. ISOC is building the community members, helping them understand issues, speak about it in their own countries, and strengthen the voices of community. So these are certain things which Internet Society is doing. Anyone can become a member of Internet Society. You only have to go to the website, which is internetsociety.org, fill up a membership form, and you become a global member. Once you become a global member, you can, then opt for the preferred chapter and apply. And some chapters, and each chapter has, ideally, they have more or less the same kind of rules, but some may have some special rules. Like Australia has some special rules. They have a payment which has to be made. So, basis the chapter's bylaws, a person can become a member of a chapter. So this is how it works. Internet Society has various calls, comes up with various policy papers, discussions on various issues. You can raise your issues. There would be people to help you out with giving you the right kind of information. And also, there are opportunities. For example, Internet Society has various grants which they come up with to support various initiatives. They have grants for chapters. They have grants for various projects. Small size grant, mid size grant, or large scale grants. But yes, the projects has to match certain criteria which is laid out. The call for such grants come, and it is open for quite some time when you can apply if you feel that there is a project which you would want to do. There is a particular process in which you have to apply, and if it is selected by a group of there is a jury which selects it, you are provided the grant. However, in India, we are having a small challenge in terms of getting grants because of certain regulations currently, the FCRA regulations. So that's something which Internet Society and the chapter members are trying to work on. Simultaneously, there are fellowship opportunities which ISOC comes up with, for example, for IETF meetings, for the IGF meetings, etc. So anyone who's interested and is a member can go through the website and keep a tab, or subscribe to mailers, and they would get those information. So so this is something which I thought I would share. In case anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask me. I would be happy to answer. If there's any question, others, you can take it up and ask me, and I will be happy to answer. And if there's no question, there are either two things: that people have know much more than what I spoke, or people just didn't understand what I spoke. Adarsh, if there's no question, I'm done. Thank you so much for having me.